Ropp Star Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound the like button. Appreciate everyone joining. I'm watching the Masters. If you don't know me, I'm a big golf fan and golfer, so yeah. I got it on, and I've got it on Tiger's group right now. Got it on Tiger's group. So, again, I appreciate everyone joining. It's a beautiful Friday. This is the first time I've done this, actually. This is going to be something I'm going to try to do more often with you guys, especially the people that are in the Discord, you subscribers, members, everything. And of course, if you do a super chat or become a member or anything like that, I'll definitely get to your questions. Now, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that, man. This is one of the new ones I think they just came out with. One of the new Nike ones they came out with. Looks good on the arms. You know what I mean? Looks good on the arms. So today is really going to be. I still have topics to talk about that I brought up on my own, but today is going to be topics for you guys in the Friday fan discussion. So what we're doing is basically, as in the description of this live stream says, join the community for the Fan Friday. Ask questions, discuss topics, and enjoy the live stream. So if you want to get your questions answered, the best thing you can do is either become a member or put it in the super chat, or you can join the Discord, which the link is right down below in the description. I already sent it there, and put your questions in the Discord in the Friday fan discussion. So without further ado, let's get right into it, and make sure you pound the like button, okay? All right, so these are the first questions that came up in the Discord. So here is the Friday fan discussion questions. And Zach came up with this one first. And he says, can we talk about Brant Tillis and all the contracts and offseason moves he made? And he made only like 40 plus million to work with. So this is a great question by Chris for us to start out the show with. Again, if you guys are just joining, we are doing Fan Friday discussion. So basically, if you want your question answered, join the Discord, pop that question in there. Or if you want to get it answered faster, give me a super chat or become a member and put your question in the chat. That's what we're doing today. All right. And then I have some other discussion topics we want to do. So again, just make sure you pound the like button. That's the best thing you can do. All right, so the first question goes by Zach here, and he goes, can we talk about Brant Tillis and all the contracts, off-season moves he made? And he only had like 40 million to work with. All right, so let's get into that. This is let's get into that real quick. Go to transactions. Go to here. All right, so we're just going to use this for a perfect example. Again, we've used this before. So Zach's question was, can we talk about Brant Tillis and all the contracts and all the season moves he made with only $40 million to work with? So basically my thoughts is that Brant Tillis, all right, let's kick back for a second and chat about this, and let's talk about how Brant Tillis and his wizardry was able to navigate the Panthers through this tumultuous waters of the offseason moves and contracts with just over $40 million in his pocket. To me, what he's done this offseason, to answer your question, Zach, is that to me, it was like watching a chef whip up a gourmet meal. Seriously. That's what Brant Tillis did this offseason. At least from from a contract perspective, I think. Um, the guy obviously came in with the plan, and we have to give him his props where the props are due, right? I mean, he has been pulling off some serious he pulled off some serious magic in this offseason with this front office. And you got a limited budget. That would make it makes things tough when it's that kind of type of budget. But Dillis was managed to orchestrate some major moves that obviously had us buzzing and maybe some others scratching our head. But let's talk about the contracts. I mean, Tillis had to get creative in a league where big money deals are standards in certain positions. When you look at these contracts and you break them down, especially the ones that we signed. Now, besides Jadeveon Clowney, Sam Franklin, Nick Scott, Tay Davis, those guys, and the Derek Brown contract. But if you look at David Moore, you look at any of these guys' contracts. Sorry, I should even just mention those guys. But even the guys like O'Shawn Robinson, Damian Lewis, I think O'Shawn's one of them too. Let me check his contract. Yeah, he's making 1.2 this year. So all these guys are literally making 1.2 million just this year. Okay, so all these guys we signed for the most part, I'm pretty sure are only making around one. All right, he's making 1.3. Cavallon's making 1.125, which seems to be the narrative. Jordan Fuller. Doesn't look like they got it set up yet. 1.125. He's making 3.25. David Moore, 1.125. Nick Scott, 1.125. So everybody's making around that 1.125 range. Even the big name guys that we signed, for example, like the Robert Hunt contract, 1.125. Okay. So for all these contracts, he was able to sign them and have their first year at a very minimum. Okay. Because what he did is instead of throwing cash around like confetti at a parade, he was able to play chess and strategically lock in critical players without breaking the bank. You ever watch like a high stakes game of poker? That's the way I look at it. Like Brant Tillis is the guy who's bluffing his way on the table while sipping on like a big cold one or he's got a nice bourbon neat, right? So, and let's remember the offseason moves was with just enough money to buy, a couple of big name guys, and Tillis has been wheeling and dealing and like a season, if he's a seasoned car salesman. So he's been scouring the market for bargains. He snatched up some underrated gems, I think, and made some great maneuvers. I think some folks might have doubted the signings, some of the guys, right? But I don't think you can doubt Tillis and what he's able to do. If you think about, some people might have even said, hey, you can't build a contender with just $40 million. Now, I'm not saying this team's a contender, but I'm using it I'm using the saying as an example. But Tillis didn't get the memo. He just went out, built a roster to make us competitive again and bring balance to this team. And I think Brant Tillis did an excellent job, and we're going to eat that $48 million in dead cap this year. So when we go into next year, even when all these guys' contracts really hit, like the Robert Hunt and like Damian Lewis and Jadeveon Clowney and Derek Brown's contract. Those guys' contracts actually hit. You're still going to have like 111, but I think I've seen 111, but I think it's going to go down now because of the Derek Brown extension. I think it's going to be around $97 million, which will still be top 10, top 5 in cap in 2025. So he did all the right things, in my opinion, when it comes to that. Zach, what was your favorite pickup in free agency? That's a tough one. I think probably like as a fan favorite, it probably Jadeveon Clowney just because I'm a Gamecock fan. And I've always, and you brought him back to his stopping roots. But like if I had from a strategic standpoint, my favorite move was definitely Robert Hunt. I think Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis were the two smartest moves you could have made. So to that question, Zach, I would say that. I would say that. Okay. AJ Brooks, let's get to the next question. So AJ Brooks came in and said, does it concern you that running backs we have probably brought in for 30 or for top 30 meetings are day 2 or early day 3 guys? With the holes we have, that would take away from one of our top needs. All right, so if we're looking at this from a perspective, okay? Okay. I wouldn't say like exactly. I don't think those guys are technically the biggest name players, but they are bigger names than some. I will say that. I don't think they're the biggest name players, but they're bigger names than some. All right, so let's get into the draft, and we're talking about that AJ Brooks question there. Um, let's see. Did someone just join? Nice. Joey Tech just joined. Nice. Nice. Welcome in, Joey Tech. All right, so let's talk about the running backs because that's what AJ Brooks' question is. Okay. Um, so in the later rounds, right? You were saying, well, we brought in day 2, day 3 guys. So does it concern you that the running backs we have reportedly brought in for top 30 meetings of day 2 guys? No, it doesn't. It doesn't bother me. So, for example, though, I want to give you some guys that I would like to target. Though I think these are the because here's the thing: the running back scene for Carolina Panthers has definitely been pondered over right now because of Miles Sanders' lack of production, and we're not really too sure. I think some of us aren't really too sure if Chuba's our RB1. I'm not. I can't say Chuba's an RB1. I just don't feel comfortable saying that right now. And we all know the Panthers have some glaring needs. And adding some fresh legs to this backfield, I definitely don't think would hurt. I definitely don't think it would hurt, especially with the fact that Dave Canales is coming out and saying, "Hey, we're going to run the ball more. We're going to run the ball more." And he wants to build around the run game too. What he's trying to do with that is he's trying to take pressure off of Rice. He wants to be able to run the ball, open up the pass, take some pressure off of Bryce. That's his ultimate goal because that's how he got maximum potential out of most of his other guys. Now, again, everybody's like, well, uh, you know, he's not Rashad White didn't run that much. He did run a lot. He almost ran for 1,000, but they also used his versatility to their advantage in the pass game. Rashad White's a guy who's going to get you probably 900 yards rushing, 300, 400 yards, maybe 500 yards receiving. That's what kind of type of back he is. He's a scat back. That's what he is. He did, but with Kenneth Walker for example, in Seattle, though, another guy. So they ran the ball, 1,000-yard back. So I mean, he definitely plans on doing that. So he definitely plans on doing so. What corners do you like in the 4th and 5th round? All right, let me write some. I might have to start writing some of these questions down to keep up with you guys. That's why I say do it in the Discord. But if I can't keep up with all these questions, I'm going to write some of them down. CB's 4th or 5th round question mark. Okay. Do you think Icky will have a better year now that Hunt is sitting beside himself? Uh Marcos Cash, put that question in the Discord for me. Marcos, put that question in the Discord for me. And then the call king. I'm writing your question down. I got pretty good handwriting for a dude, by the way. Just saying. All right, running back. So let's get into here real quick because we're talking about AJ Brooks' question. Does it concern me? No. Again, it does not concern me, but there are some guys I'd like to obviously target. And guys that I haven't talked about. And well, let's start off with Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. Okay. For instance, I think this dude's got speed to burn. He could be a solid 3rd round snag if we decide to go there. Again, I think he could be a 3rd round pick. He's a workhorse back. Okay. You get basically in this guy, you're getting a lightning fast runner who just can weave through defenses. All right. I think he's a spark that we could definitely use with some fresh legs in our backfield. Okay. Jalen Wright. Of course, honorable mentions. I will say Trey Benson's got another guy. I'm gonna honorable mention him because he's got the same numbers as Breece Hall. And we know how good Breece Hall is up in New York. So he has the same combine numbers as Breece Hall. Marshawn Lloyd. So I've watched him at South Carolina before he went to USC. I liked Marshawn Lloyd. We've got a duo. You know, it would be great to get, I think, him, bringing in some severe wiggle to the table. I mean, this guy might not be a 1st round material, but they could add some much needed burst from this guy in the later rounds. I've been seeing him fall to like the 5th round, I think. And I think they got him they got him projected 3rd. Wow. Okay. Another one, Audric Esteem, another workhorse back. You see how I'm going with this? We need workhorses. We all believe we need workhorse backs. All right, we're getting some people with some questions in here already. More questions. Love it, love it, love it. He's not your flashy big player type of guy. Okay. This guy's a power back. And it's just compacted into his frame. Okay. Think of short yardage situations, his reliable hands out of the backfield. Esteem could be a secret weapon the Panthers need, especially for crucial 3rd downs. Of course, I'm going to end on everybody, and I think a fan favorite in this chat room, and that is Braylon Allen. This dude's a beast in the making, I think. And he's only 20 years old. So if we drafted him now, he's 20. Oh, wait, maybe he's not. Now he is 20. Let's see. Yeah, he's 20 years old, man. Runs a 4.40. He's got a towering presence on the field. Sure, there's some rust, I would say, around the edges that you could definitely smooth out with this kid. But overall, with the proper guidance, this guy can evolve into a mid-round steal for the Panthers. I like Braylon Allen a lot. So that hopefully that answers your question there. No problem, brother. Is it fair to say our last 3 drafts have been failures? JC Horn is good, but the next 4 players selected were Satane. Landry Wiggins, it's definitely fair to say. I totally agree with you. Definitely fair to say. Marco, all right, let's get into the chat. So guys, if you want any questions answered, please join the Discord and put it in the fan. So see this? Here's the Discord. Put your question, join the Discord. All you have to do is join. It's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. It literally does not cost you a thing. You literally download the app and you put it in there. Okay. Thank you, Marcos. Marcos is doing his thing. Appreciate that. All right. So join that. Click that link. Take you right. And then put your fan questions right here. Okay. AJ Brooks is, we got to get AJ Brooks a Braylon Allen shirt or something. We got to get him like vote for Braylon Allen or some shit. I don't know at this point. All right, what are some 5th round sleeper gems since we have 2 picks in the 2nd round? I love this question. This is a great question by AJ Brooks. He said that, so the question is, what are some 5th round sleeper gems since we have 2 picks in the 5th round? We have the chance to get 2 quality depth pieces, if not rotation players or starters. So we're going to dive into that next. All right, so my sleeper and the 5th round. Let's stay with the running backs. A sleeper in the 5th round for me is Isaiah Davis. Okay. 6 foot, 218 pounds, runs a 4.57. Guess what kind of running back he is? Of course, he's a workhorse. All right. He was a big, powerful workhorse back for the Jackrabbits over the past 2 seasons. Okay. He averages around 6.7 yards per carry. Around 15, he had over 1,500 yards with 18 touchdowns. He had 23 catches for 199 yards and score as well. He averaged 5.8 per yards per carry back in 2022 as well. Also had over 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. Okay. Davis could start out as a backup in the NFL and I think potentially grow from that role. I mean, the guy has had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, both close to 1,500 yards apiece. The one last year he had over 1,500, but the 2022 season he was at 1,450. So, I mean, dude, man, is an absolute hoss. He's 6 foot, 218. He runs a 4.5. I mean, he's just a great downhill runner. I personally think Icky is not that bad. He did get 1 year. Well, he go 1 year with Brady besides him, and nothing year 2. So in my opinion, he gets a pass until after this year. Okay. AJ Brooks, if you don't vote for him, I'll find you and I'll forge your signature. So here's a running back that I can see us getting in the 5th round, like a 5th round pick. All right. Let's go into the wide receiver room. I'm pulling out guys too. When AJ asked this question, I'm pulling out guys that I have not talked about that I have studied. And I'm telling you, Jamari Thrasher out of Louisville is a guy that I really, really like. Okay. A lot of people are sleeping on this guy. 5 foot, 6 foot, 188, runs a 4.40. Okay. All right. He's projected 5th, 7th round. I think maybe on here they might have him projected a little bit earlier than that. They got him projected 4th. I've seen a lot of projections where he goes 5th, 7th, between 5th and 7th. Okay. Thrash has been a solid receiver over the past 2 seasons for Louisville. He had over he in 2023 he had 63 receptions, 858 yards, 6 touchdowns. He produced some big plays in 2022 as well. He had over 61 passes, catching 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns. The thing that I like about Thrash the most, though, the thing I like about Thrash the most is that he can line up on the outside, but he also can play in the slot. So he's got that versatility there. If you want that outside X guy, or you bring him into the slot. All right. That's why I like him a lot. That's why I brought him on up to the podium here. Since we're talking about sleepers in the 5th round. Again, guys, we're talking about sleepers in the 5th round. So for those of you who are just joining, we're talking about sleepers for the Panthers that they could target in the 5th round. And I'm going by position of need when we're doing these when we're going through these. All right. All right. So another sleeper. Okay, let's get into the center position. Let's see if I can get it pulled up here. It's a great question, by the way, AJ. So I appreciate you asking. So another sleeper for me. All right. In the center position because we need it. Okay. Tanner Bortiolione. This guy's got to be Italian as fuck. Okay. But a versatile Badger. He blocked over the past 3 seasons there. He started at left guard, played right guard, and then ended up at center. And he's even played one game at tight end. So that means he tells me he's athletic for 6'4", 303. I think he would be a best fit as a backup guard or center for the NFL. And he worked out pretty well at the combine if you go look at his numbers. All right. Italian as fuck. Look at that guy. He doesn't got the Italian nose, though. He ain't got the Italian. Hey, how you doing? How's your mom? All right. Got another guy here for you. We're going to get into the defensive end / outside linebacker. This guy can play defensive end in a 3-4 defense, or he can play outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense. Okay. And I think he's a sleeper. And especially he's projected to go between. Now, I've seen projections where he goes 3rd round, but I've seen projections where he goes 5th. All right. So, but I'm still taking him. I'm still going to consider him a 5th round sleeper for now. Muhammad Kamara, defensive end, outside linebacker. They've got him listed as a D lineman. I don't see that in this guy. I really don't. I see him. He's from Newark, New Jersey. Love it. I mean, I'm not from Newark, but it's cool to see where these cats are from, man. But played at Colorado State. But he's an edge, 3-4 outside linebacker. 6'1", 248 pounds, runs a 4.5 40. So he's athletic as shit. I think he's one of the best pass rushers in college football last season. Okay. He had over 13 sacks last year, 56 tackles, 2 forced fumbles. He recorded 8.5 sacks or 8.5 and 7.5 sacks during the previous 2 seasons. So he's definitely a respectable defensive end, outside linebacker. He just has the nose to get after the quarterback. He's a little undersized for the NFL, a little bit for that 3-4 defense, especially in the DM position. Outside linebacker, I think he'd be a much better place to be. As a pro for him, I could see him as a designated pass rusher, for like a sub package type of lineup in rotation. Dude, if that would be sick if we got that guy. Turtle Man, what's up? All right, another one for another sleeper for you there. I got another sleeper for you in the 5th round. I got a defensive lineman for you. We're going to win big. We're going to win big. We're going to win big with this guy right here. We would win big with this guy right here. Special teams, special plays, special players. All right. Jaden Crew Matty, defensive tackle / nose tackle, because he can play nose tackle. Mississippi State, 5th. He's projected between the 4th and 6th. I've seen him go around the 5th most of the time. Now, his rating's gone up based off of NFL Draft Buzz. 6'2", 323 pounds. Played 5 seasons at Mississippi State. Recorded 35 tackles, 2.5 sacks. Over the previous 4 years, he's totaled up 6 sacks. So he's not a guy that's going to put pressure on the quarterback. Crometti's a nose tackle, though. So he will have to earn playing time as a pro and by being a tough interior run defender. It fits the mold here in Carolina, does it not? I mean, when you hear about a guy being a tough interior run defender, based off of what we're doing here in Carolina, this guy fits that mold. And he had a solid week of practice at that Senior Bowl, so they were hyped about him. All right, Kamar feels like Hassan Reddick to me. Yeah, I mean, he does play the same style, that's for sure. Zaxon here says, "What do you think about Troy Franklin?" I like Troy Franklin. When it comes down to Troy, though, there is some issues with him for me because of his size and his stature. It bothers me a little bit because when I look at him, I'm like, this guy can be very good, but you look at him, right? How tall? He's what? I'm looking at him right now. Troy Franklin, he's 6'2", 176. I mean, you're gonna have to drink some protein shakes. 6'2", 176. I mean, unless he plans on being like a Devontae Smith, the Slim Reaper, which I could see him being like. If he can be like a Devontae Smith, which I could see him being like, then yeah, I think that he wouldn't really need to put any more size on. But I don't like a guy who's 6'2", 176, and I think he was less weight than that when he was at the combine. So it's an issue for me when it comes to Troy Franklin. But I do like him, Zach. I do like Troy. I'll talk more about him later. If you want to put that question in the chat, go ahead and put it in there. Put it in that Discord. All right. Well, we can definitely, talk about him a little bit more. We can break him down. Uh back to my sleepers. All right. So Jaden Crometti, another one for me. Another one for me, since we're doing linebacker, a 5th round pick. I mean, Cedric Gray, I've been able to get in the 5th round. So for some reason, but I wouldn't say he's a sleeper. Okay. A sleeper to me is like this guy right here, Tyrone Harper, Missouri, 6'2", 221, 4.740. He's projected between the 3rd and 5th round. I think on here they've got him projected 6th. Okay. So again, late round guy. All right. Notched 55 tackles last year. 3 passes defended, 3 sacks. He's an interior linebacker. He's not an outside guy. All right. He should have returned back to school, in my opinion, but he decided to enter the draft. Solid linebacker from Missouri, though. Recorded 74 tackles in 2023. He had 3 sacks that year. Or not 2023, 2022. I'm sorry. He had 20, and then 2022 was his best year to me. He had 74 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, 2 passes defended. He also, prior to 2022, though, he played at Florida. Seeing only a few starts there, basically being a rotational backup, special teams kind of guy. The thing about him, though, is that he has to show improvement in pass coverage. And then he has to continue to have years of production like his 2022 and 2023 season. So, but could be a sleeper. Again, these guys are completely sleeper picks. Okay. These are not guys I think we need to actually like. If we draft them, I wouldn't be mad about it, especially in the 5th round. So, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about sleepers in that 5th round because we have back-to-back picks there, and that was to AJ Brooks' question. Okay. Let's get into the cornerback room. I've got a sleeper for y'all in the cornerback room, and I think y'all know who I'm going with. I'm telling you, everybody's sleeping on this kid. I'm telling you right now, everybody's sleeping on this Dwight McLaughlin guy. I'm telling you, 6'2", 185, runs a 4.40, projected 4th to the 6th round. I think they've got him projected to the 5th, so it's perfect. Okay, so he's tall, but he's a skinnier corner who definitely needs to add on some size for sure. So drink a couple more protein shakes. Definitely great ball skills. Recorded 3 interceptions last year, along with 6 passes broken up during the previous season. He notched 4 interceptions, 10 pass breakups, 52 tackles. I think he's an interesting development prospect. Given his height and length and ball skills, I mean 6'2", 185. If he got up to 205 and kept that 4.4 speed, he'd be filthy. He'd be filthy. Yeah, so those are my sleeper picks, AJ. Those are my sleeper picks for you, my friend. All right, we got some more questions. We already got some more questions in here. So we got Zach. We already did that one. We did that one. All right, Neo Shadow. Can we talk about trade and draft scenarios to have the best and worst case? Neo Shadow, I hope you don't mind me doing this. I'm gonna put your question. I'm gonna put your question up in here because I'm just gonna make it easier for people to see what we're talking about. All right, Neo Shadow. Can we talk about the best possible trade and draft scenarios to have and worst case scenarios? All right, so great question. Let's huddle up and chat about this then. Let's just talk about what it means to be a beloved Carolina Panthers fan. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. I would say if we're let's look at let's look at our draft board. Let's look at our draft picks. Okay. Trying to keep this raw as possible for you guys. Jason Day's got some weird ass pants on. I don't get it. I'm not a fan of it. All right, here we go. So here's our draft picks. So to your question, McLaughlin. Not McLaughlin. Neo Shadow. Sorry. Neo Shadow Wolf. I'm like still stuck on the McLaughlin tree. I like news. So Neo Shadow came in with this question. It says, can we talk about possible trade draft scenarios to have the best and worst case scenarios? So the best case scenario is this. These are the best case scenarios. I'm not saying we should do this, but this is the best case scenarios for me. If you want to trade, if the Panthers want to trade up, they better trade up, and that's for an absolute stud. That is one of the best case scenarios. I'm not a fan of trading up right now. I think we should trade back personally, but I wouldn't say it's a bad case scenario. I wouldn't say it's a worst case scenario. If they traded up and got an absolute stud, I would not be mad about it as long as the guy's an absolute day one starter, gonna be there for years to come, and is gonna be a Pro Bowl type of guy, right? Now, again, that doesn't mean that necessarily is going to happen, even if you trade up for a guy that's considered a stud, right? So imagine the Panthers swinging a deal to move up in the draft. They snag a game changer talent, whether it's a top tier cornerback to solidify that secondary, a dynamic wide receiver. This move could definitely inject some instant excitement into the team. Another best case scenario is they get a draft day steal. Okay, picture this. The Panthers, they sit back, watch as a highly touted prospect unexpectedly falls into their lap, right? Maybe it's a versatile offensive line who slips down the board, or maybe it's a defensive gem that the other teams overlook, right? Landing a steal in the draft could be a game changer for this roster. Another best case scenario for the Panthers is addressing key needs. So in the best case scenario to me is the Panthers trade back and they identify their most pressing needs and address them with precise, which means it goes back to getting those guys, getting those steals, whether it's bolstering up their offensive line, adding depth to that wide receiver room, finding a reliable playmaker in the secondary. The draft delivers exactly what the team needs to excel in the upcoming season. Now to your question, Neo, the worst case scenarios, missed opportunities. In the worst case scenario, the Panthers fail to capitalize on trade opportunities or make the most of their draft pick, whether it's hesitating to pull the trigger on a trade or reaching for a prospect who doesn't pan out, right? A lot of missed opportunities could set this team back in for years, especially this draft. Okay. The draft day bust. That's another worst case scenario. So picture the Panthers slightly selecting a highly touted prospect in the draft, right? Let's say they go after someone that's, just for example, okay? Let's say they reach, right? And they take a guy that's a highly touted prospect in the draft, only to see them struggle to make an impact on the field. Whether it's due to injuries, whether it's a poor fit with the scheme, or simply not living up to expectations, drafting a bust could leave us wondering if Dan Morgan can actually draft talent. That shit happens all the time, though. But another thing is, another worst case scenario is they ignore key needs. I think if Panthers go best player available, you ignore some of the key needs. Sometimes you'll get some of the key needs, but I wouldn't say you get all the key needs. So you overlook crucial needs in the draft. Then you leave these glaring holes on this roster. Whether it's neglecting to address that offensive line, or you fail to add depth at those key positions, you ignore glaring weaknesses in the secondary, ignoring key needs could spell trouble for our team. Those are the worst case scenarios because it's a boomer bust draft for the Carolina Panthers. We're at a crossroads where we have to approach this 2024 draft very cautiously, because in recent years we have had disappointment after disappointment and coaching turnover. The pressure is on to turn things around and build a roster that can compete at the highest level once again. We only have 2 second-round picks to work with, and you have to make every selection count if they hope to address those pressing needs. Because last season was a tough pill to swallow for us Panther fans, right? The offense struggled. We're unable to generate consistent scoring opportunities. Bryce Young found himself running for his life behind a offensive line that basically was paper mache. The lack of protection, the playmakers ultimately led to coaching changes, signaling a need just for drastic improvements in the upcoming draft. So with their first pick not coming until that 33rd overall, they have to be smart. They'll have another opportunity just 6 picks later, get that at 39. Obviously, thanks to that trade for Brian Burns and the Giants. So these early selections are going to be crucial, addressing those key areas of weakness and setting the tone for the rest of the draft. So there's your worst case scenarios. There's your best case scenarios. You know what I mean? Those are your worst case scenarios. Those are your best case scenarios, Neo. Good question, Neo. Good question. That's a great question from the Discord. All right, let's get back to the Discord. I hope I answered your question there. Joey Tech comes in and says, this is a crazy one. This is a crazy question. So Joey Tech in the Discord comes in. I'm going to put your name up here, Joey Tech. I'm going to add it as a banner. So Joey Tech came in with this question in the Discord and said, pick 33, 2025 first pick or pick number 5 from the Chargers and select Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, Joey Tech, I like it. I can't say I don't like it. I can't say I do. Because here's the reason why. We have too many pressing matters. Now, I did say best case scenario, they go up and get a stud. I just don't know if I'm willing to go up and get a Marvin Harrison Jr. and trade my first pick next year because we don't have one. And I think it's also the thing is you've got to think about if Bryce does not pan out and you don't have a first round pick next year because you traded up for Marvin Harrison Jr., then you're fucked. That's what you got to think about there. You're fucked. Honestly, you are. You're fucked if you trade up and you do hit on Marvin Harrison Jr. Sure, that's great. But we don't know if Bryce is still the guy. We're trying to figure that out now. We're trying to figure out that now if this guy is the guy. So for your question, do I think this is I mean, basically it's a discussion. It's not really a question. It's do I think it's worth it? I don't think so. I think you need to trade back and try to get more draft capital. I think the best case scenario for the Carolina Panthers, I mean, there's multiple best case scenarios, but I think the best case scenario for the Carolina Panthers is definitely is not trading up, it's trading back. I think, but I will say this about Marvin Harrison Jr. I will say this about Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a standout prospect. I'll give him that. The only thing that bothers me with him is that he did not do a pro day and he did not do the combine. So that bothers me a little bit because it makes me think he's hiding something. But again, he's got a skill set that sets him apart from others. I will say that. I think he possesses a rare combination of attributes that make him one of the most complete wide receivers in this draft class. Now, if we're looking at Marvin Harrison Jr. from this standpoint, he's 6'4". There he is, 6'3". I thought he was 6'4". But he demonstrates an exceptional understanding of his position. Really, I mean, he showcases techniques and release, his route running. He can manipulate defenders. He's got a tall frame. And despite his tall frame, his footwork and agility and speed are impressive. That allows him to create separation and excel in various routes. What truly sets Harrison apart from the other wide receivers, I think, is his football IQ. Okay, which is beyond his years. If you hear about this guy, talk about it. And he displays a knack for setting up defenders and creating throw windows for the quarterback. So trust me, I would love him on the team, but I just don't think I'm willing to trade up. But I mean, like I said, his hands are reliable. He makes the tough contested catches, and he definitely showcases excellent hand-eye coordination. But overall, probably the best guy in the draft. I mean, he's got the bloodline of a Hall of Famer. Definitely, I project him to be a wide receiver one, become a tier one wideout, and whoever gets him. I just don't see us. But in our situation, I just don't see us trading up. I just don't. I think trading back and getting more draft capital makes sense. Now, would I be mad if they did that and went up and got Marvin Harrison Jr.? Absolutely not. I would not be mad at all. But I just don't want to give up draft capital when I don't know what we have at quarterback, especially a first round pick the next year. All right, let's move on to the next question. Marco's Cash. So why is everyone saying he's overvalued? Because the problem is that the reason why they're saying he's overvalued, Marvin Harrison, is because he didn't do a combine mainly, and he didn't do a pro day, and people think he's trying to hide something. That's literally it. That's literally it. All right, Marcos Cash, you came in with this question. I'm actually going to just go in the comments and find yours. Real quick, because it's just going to make it easier. Okay, so Marcos comes in and says, do you think Icky will have a better year now that Hunt is sitting beside him? Well, Hunt won't be sitting beside him. Damian Lewis is going to be sitting beside him, Marcos. Hunt is a right guard. Lewis is the left guard. Okay. But even with Lewis there, I do think that he's going to benefit from him. If you've heard Damian Lewis come out and talk about how he plays, Marcos, Damian Lewis is a guy who's going to Hulk smash dudes. Okay, that's what he's came out and basically said. All right. I mean, I definitely think that Damian Lewis is going to be an upgrade. It was because it was a necessary thing. The Panthers need to sign Damian Lewis. They need to sign Robert Hunt because all the pressure, even though I know last year Brady, or not Brady, but what's his name? Even though Bradley Bozeman shit the bed last year, or seemed to shit the bed last year, it wasn't his fault. All right, Marcos. It was not his fault because, again, all the pressures came within the left guard and the right guard. Percentage-wise, that's where most of the pressures came from. And so it made Bradley Bozeman look bad because he's having to help the left guard and the right guard, and then it leaves the hole open for a D tackle or linebacker to close in the gap to get to the quarterback. So I think Lewis, his physical presence alone on this offensive line and his familiarity with Coach Canales and his aggressive play style makes him a perfect fit for this team. And it's definitely going to benefit Ickey and make him feel more comfortable where he's at. Especially you anchor that left guard position with Lewis and should provide protection and confidence to Ickey, right? And it's going to open up run lanes for the rushing attack. I think that's the reason why I think the running back position is going to be key this year. I truly believe that. So that's to your question, though, Marcos. I hope that answers your question. All right. Neo came in with another one. He says, Neo came in with another one here and says, I think that the first 3 picks, you know what? I wonder if I can zoom in on this for you guys. Can y'all see that better if I zoom in? Oh, y'all can. Perfect. All right. So Neo came in and said, I think the first 3 picks, no particular order, center, wide receiver, tight end. Who do you think will be picked? If we go center, wide receiver, you're going to probably end up seeing Frazier at 33. Yeah, and if wide receiver at 39, Leggett may fall there, but I've done multiple mock drafts where he does it. But he could. So, but I've seen multiple mock drafts where he does. So it's either would be Leggett or Coleman. Neo, I would say for your picks, Frazier, Coleman, or Leggett there. Tied in. I don't think Jadavion Sanders fall into the 3rd round. So you would have to probably end up going with Cade Stover there. I just don't see Jadavion Sanders falling out the 2nd round. I really don't. And honestly, for me, I've really been thinking about it lately. I think it might be smart for Carolina to go all offense the first 3 picks like this, but in a different order. I think you go wide receiver at 33, go tight end at 39. You get Leggett and you get Jadavion Sanders at 33 and 39. And then you go get Cedric Van Pran at 65. I think that could be a best case scenario, at least for the offensive side. Then you can deal with the defense the rest of the way. You get your backup center. You get your your backup center is going to be a guy that probably end up taking over his next year, because I can see Van Pran, right? And then you get Leggett. You get your outside X wide receiver that fits the mold there that we're looking for. A guy who's physical, fast, can go up and get the ball. Great point at the tack. All right. Tight end, Jadavion Sanders. He's a tier 1 tight end, in my opinion. I think that's the best case scenario if you're going to go that way. Center, wide receiver, no particular. He did say no particular order, so that's fine. But I think you go Leggett, wide receiver. I think you go Leggett, Jadavion Sanders, center. If you're going to go this order, though, at no particular order. Matt's here. Let me invite you. Here's the link right here. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Dang, how come my links, Marcos, your links are different than mine? Look at the link that I just put. That's so weird. That's so weird, dude. That is so weird. All right, perfect. What we got? We have to meet with Troy Franklin. Okay, the Bills are one of the first. All right, cool. We have to meet with Troy Franklin. All right, so that's great, Zach. That's good news. So my thoughts on what do you think will happen to Austin Corbett if the Panthers draft a center? I think Austin Corbett ends up starting because even if we draft a guy now, again, I'm predicting that right now. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that it is going to happen. Again, I think, Zach, to your question here, I think Corbett starts, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if someone beats him out. I wouldn't be surprised if someone beats him out. I really don't. I wouldn't be surprised if someone beats him out. But again, I think Van Prant's the best center for us personally, maybe besides JPJ. If they got Zach Frazier, I wouldn't be mad about it. I just think that Van Prant's versatility and mobility fits the zone scheme a lot better. That's just me. But again, I think that, I think Van Prant at 65 would be key if we don't go center in the first 2 picks. Honestly, I really think they should go. I would love for them to go Leggett and Sanders at 33 and 35, 39. I really do. All right, so thoughts on Troy Franklin. So my thoughts on Troy Franklin. That was the next question, I think. So Zach, yes, comes in and says, what do you think about Troy Franklin? So let's pull Troy Franklin's profile up. Okay, here we go. Troy Franklin. 6'2", 176 out of Oregon. I mean, this guy was a former standout recruit, if y'all don't know, who has a solid background. He showcased his skills on the field for Oregon throughout his collegiate career, basically. Constantly demonstrated his value as a vertical threat, which made him obviously a big contributor to Oregon's offense and help Bo Nix get the numbers he got. I would say that Troy Franklin has this smooth type striding style. Okay, so he excels as a vertical threat receiver. I would say capable. He can stretch the field. He can create explosive plays. He has established himself as a go-to option for big plays, whether lined up in the slot or on the outside. And in recent seasons, he has expanded his repertoire and diversifying his releases and footwork to enhance his ability to create that separation beyond just relying on his speed. Now, concerns for me, though, that Franklin's strength, physical size, right? He particularly in physical contact and contested catches. He just lacks that. I don't think it's grit, and I don't think it's that he's not athletic enough or anything like that. I just think that he needs to drink a protein shake. I mean, he's very small for his size. All right. Or at least for being 6'2" and only 176. So his frame is very, very small. I will say he's very competitive. And there's definitely room for improvement. So a couple protein shakes wouldn't hurt the kid, though. That's all I'm saying. But being a part of a deep wide receiver class, his talent, I think a lot of people are overlooking because of his combine too. But he's smooth, man. He's got smooth athleticism. He's very good at understanding the position that makes him a valuable asset. Um, and he's continued to develop, particularly in building strength, and I think will be a successful wide receiver in the NFL. I think he's got a potential to thrive as a wide receiver too. At worst, I think he could end up being a wide receiver one. Just depends in what offense he is. If he's in a vertical NFL offense, he could be a wide receiver one. So I think he's a reliable option, especially for downfield pass plays. I think with the right support with just any player, though, I always say this with any good support, these guys, whoever anyone drafts, even if we draft them or someone else drafts them, they can continue to grow and make a significant impact wherever they go. I think certain guys can do that. There was a report yesterday from someone on Twitter saying they said that AD Mitchell in Charlotte report yesterday from a pretty credible source, and we haven't heard anything on it yet. But we're just hearing the Troy Franklin news, and we've already met with him from reports. I would be down if he fell to 33 for sure. I wouldn't be mad about it. Yo, AJ, he has been falling on 33 on mock drafts a lot lately. A lot. He has. He has. Park Bum says, you don't think it's possible Daniel Sanders falls to the third round? I don't, Park. The guy's a tier 1 tight end at best or at worst. I'm very high in Jadavion Sanders. I think a lot of people like Brock Bowers because of where he played at, but I think people are sleeping on Jadavion Sanders. I really do. I think Jadavion Sanders could be an absolute stud. Now, don't ask him to run block. That's the only thing that bothers me with Jadavion Sanders' part. Don't ask him to run block. Don't ask him to run. We got any more questions in the Friday fan? No, we don't have any more questions in the Friday fan discussion. At least it looks like for right now. Oh. What's up, Mets? Oh, okay, Mets is finally in there. He's probably going to put something in the fan. The fan discussions. The fan discussions. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Ooh. Now, I do want to bring up a guy here shortly. I don't understand why this is like this. Sorry, I'm fixing something. Your sleeper in the draft at linebacker and wide receiver. Oh, Zach already did that one. I'll say this. What are the odds of Tepper pulling his head from his ass, selling team to someone who won't make stupid head? Oh shit, that's funny. Mets coming in hot with that one. I don't know the odds on that. Honestly, I don't know the odds on that. Hopefully it doesn't. Yeah, exactly, Parks. Mets, I don't know if there's an over or under on that, but I don't think he does. I think that we are finally seeing David Tepper finally sit his ass down. So to your question, Mets, I think to your question here, uh, I think we're finally seeing what we've been waiting for with Mr. David Tepper. I think we finally are seeing it all, or we're finally seeing what we've been waiting to see. Is this guy to sit down? So you know. All right. Here's a guy I want to talk about though, because we do have a little bit of a dilemma to talk about here. Let's see. Oh, did anyone watch yesterday's press conference with Ejiro Evero? Did anybody get to watch it? I want to talk about this guy though. I want to talk about this draft prospect, but I do want to talk about the Evero press conference yesterday. Um, I want to say this. The Carolina Panthers do have an intriguing dilemma that when considering potential draft targets, right? We were just talking about, sleepers and stuff like that. My sleepers, by the way, for the linebacker position is Tyron Harper out of Missouri. And my wide receiver sleeper is Jamar Thrash out of Louisville. Okay. To answer your question, Zach, by the way. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about him right now, Randall. We're going to talk about him right now. We're going to talk about him. All right. Let's talk about Mr. Ben Sinnott. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the tight end position as a whole. Greg Olsen had departure since 2020. The Panthers have struggled to find anyone that can be consistent as a pass catching threat tight end. Now, of course, I'm high on Jadavion Sanders. I've given you my tight end sleeper pick as well, but I've also given you other guys we could target. We've broken them down. But that situation with Bryce Young and this offense is and for the tight end position desperately needs to address. Now, Ben Sinnott to me reminds me of a Tyler Kraft / Dawson Knox. He's a tight end / hybrid fullback. That's what he is. Okay, that's the way I look at him. But he was a standout in Kansas State. He drew a lot of attention for his versatility skill set. That's why I say he's a tight end / fullback hybrid. Go check it if you don't believe me, but you can go check his game film. But he reminds me of like a Tyler Croft, Dawson Knox type of guy. But he can pass catch, but he's a great blocker. Had a great performance at the combine, including the highest vertical jump, the longest broad jump, and the fastest 3-cone drill among tight ends. And has only added to his appeal. Now, right now, he's considered as a mid-round prospect. I think he's projected 4th. Yeah, they've got him projected as a 4th round. But his stock has risen significantly in recent evaluations, and some analysts project him as a second tight end off the board after Brock Bowers. Now, the reason why he's flying up the board, just so y'all know, is that Sinnott could be selected earlier than anticipated, and perhaps early as the 2nd or 3rd rounds. So the Panthers, who hold 2 picks in the 2nd round, they do face a dilemma. Now, I have said Jadavion Sanders is my guy. I'm still sticking with that. All right. But I wouldn't be mad if we got Ben Sinnott. Okay. Selecting a tight end in the early rounds may seem unconventional to some, but I wouldn't be surprised if this team goes wide receiver, tight end, center. Literally in that order. Okay. Now, the weight of the risk of Sinnott being off the board by the time their later picks come around is very slim. I think now that the way it seems is slim to none. I think They already have made significant moves to bolster up this team's roster. But Sanat is viewed as viewed as a solution to this team tight end disaster we've had for how many years. I think you got to act decisively to secure him or Jadavion Sanders. Again, I would probably say Brock Bowers is still my number one tight end, but number two is definitely Sanders. I probably would say three is Ben Sinnott. And my sleeper is Jared Wiley out of TCU. My sleeper tight end out of is Jared Wiley out of TCU. The guy from the Horned Frog. So let's talk about another tight end real quick since we're a sleeper. Telling you right now, this guy's a sleeper, man. 6'6", 250, runs a 4.6 40. Had a great season for the Horned Frogs. Went to the Senior Bowl. Had a great practice. He totaled up 47 receptions, 520 yards, 8 touchdowns in his collegiate season. He's a big player. Can fit as a wide tight end at the pro level. I'm telling you, you're sleeping on Jared Wiley if you don't know. Park bombs, that would be filthy. I'm going to say this. Randall, I'm going to go with you, but I'm going to go a different route, brother. I'm going to go Leggett, 33, 39, Sanders, 65, Van Pran. That to me is great. I would say honorable mentions. I just don't know if JPJ's falling to 33 though, Randall. I just don't know yet. I can't say JPJ's falling to 33. I can see Dallas needs a center. So I can see Dallas taking him at 20, whatever they are. I can see him going to Dallas for sure. Great discussion, guys. Great Friday fan discussions. I love it. Great questions already. All right, let's get into the Evero. Let's get into the Evero. Let's get into that Evero thing here. Hold on. Who's the NFL person? Okay. Let me pull up the press conference from yesterday. See if I can pull it up. I think it's on Twitter. That's Tracy Smith's press conference. Here's Evero's press conference. All right. I'm just going to share it. Let's just share it. But I want to talk about it while he's I just want to talk about it while he's talking.
We know that there's a lot of ground to cover, but that's also the exciting part about what we do. With that, I will take some questions.
Thanks, Coach.
And it was great to hear him because this guy's an insightful guy, and I like what he brings to the table. This guy's going to be a head coach one of these days, whether it's here or not.
Obviously,
but Evero's decision to return Carolina as their defensive coordinator wasn't just a matter of staying, but it put of staying put, but it was a testament of his belief in this team.
Everybody on your staff also returned.
He even stated in this, if you haven't watched it, I took some notes, and this is the reason why I'm talking about it. The strong bond he's formed within this organization is crazy.
I'm very grateful and thankful for the opportunity.
He received interest from multiple teams for the head coaching positions and ultimately
coming
chose
back
to
here
remain
was
with the Panthers.
I'm very fortunate
After
that Dave
engaging in
and
meaningful
Dan and Mr.
conversations with new
Tepper
head
gave me
coach
this
Dave
opportunity to
Canales,
come
he
back
shared the
here.
vision for the team and
Again, like
mutually
these
respected and
positions are so
decided to
highly
stay
coveted, and
an easy one
it's
for
an honor
Evero,
to
he
be
said.
a
I mean, he said it was
NFL defense
easy for him
coordinator,
after hearing Dave
especially
Canales
here,
speak.
being
And
in this
I
community.
tell you what,
My
if Dave
family
Canales
loves
does not
living here.
become a good head
We're
coach, he needs to
really
go and
finally
be a
settled in
salesman
and
at,
enjoying it.
at somewhere. I don't know
The
where. Because
organization's
he'll make $1
been
million
fantastic.
just
The
doing
players
sales
here,
the way that
I
guy
really,
speaks.
really, really love the
But
players that we have here.
the
and,
decision to
working with them
return
is
also
really
meant
consistent.
embracing
So
the
from
continuity
that
and
standpoint, a
stability
lot
of
of
something
this,
he's been
that decision was very
that's
easy.
been rare in the NFL, especially in
Staff
recent
being
years for
back
the
is
Panthers.
such a huge
This
blessing. I don't
entire
think in my
defensive staff
entire
returning, a
NFL
rarity in the
career
league
have
that
I ever
normally
been on the
happens.
staff
It
at
sees it as a
whatever
significant
role I had,
advantage for him and
where the
allowing
entire
them
staff
to
came back, and so like
build
that really
upon the
never happens.
foundation and hit the
And from
ground
that
running in this
standpoint,
upcoming
it's a
season.
huge blessing. I think that gives us a big step
So I
forward.
thought it was a great
And
press conference. He
understanding
did
how,
mention some
because
key
I think one
players
thing
from
that
last
always gets
season have
overlooked is
moved
like we
on.
always
He
talk
also
about how
mentioned
teams
that
have to come together
he was
and how the players have
excited
to
about
come
the
together.
Panthers
And there's
additions,
really no different
particularly
for the
those
coaching staff.
he's
And so
familiar with
already
from
having
his
our
previous
rhythm, already
coaching
having our
stomping
flow,
grounds.
it's such a huge advantage for us. And so this year's off to a great start.
He
And then, if I
basically
can
came
follow
out
up,
and
you
said,
bring in Jordan
you know,
Fuller,
he
you've
gets
got
reunited
Shawn
with players he
Robinson,
already
Josie
knows,
Jewell.
like
How
Josie
much
Jewell,
does
Shawn
having
Robinson,
those
Jordan Fuller, Nick
guys,
Scott,
guys that
basically
have a
brings a
background
sense
with
of
you and staff,
familiarity, camaraderie, which will
kind of
be and definitely
not miss a
be
beat when you go into
valuable
the offseason
to this
program and
team
their
as they
TAs and
work to
training camp.
strengthen that
Yeah,
defensive
that's a big part
further.
of it. The first part is
Obviously,
that those
him
guys are all
not
very,
getting
very
that
good
head
football
coaching
players. So
job,
that's the
I
first
think
and
he
foremost. They're
basically came
smart,
out and said
they're tough,
he's
they're
grateful
instinctive,
for the
they play hard,
opportunity
they're great
he's
teammates,
had.
and so from
Him
that
being here,
standpoint,
he's fully
they
committed to his
uplift your
role here
team.
in
And
this organization.
the defense is going to
I
be a
think
little bit
his
different than
return
how
to
we
me
played
was
it
one
in
of the
Denver, how
biggest
we played it
significant
at the
offseason
LA Rams, and so from that
moves that
standpoint, there's
we
always
don't
going to be a
talk
little
about a
bit of an
lot.
adjustment.
And I think
But
it's for
having
me,
those
it's a
guys on our
mutual
team right now is
appreciation
such a huge
between
step forward
him.
for us.
I appreciate him and his appreciation to be here and everything. The way this guy just talks, though, and him at the organization, and I think for both parties, from between him and the organization, they're eager to continue to work together and hopefully could achieve success. And maybe again, I still don't think it's going to happen this year, but maybe the next. And hopefully we can still see him on the sideline the next year after that too, because I know someone's going to be coming after him. I know someone's going to be coming after him.
Had a great experience with Brian. Brian is first
That says Dallas 24. So that's what I'm saying. I just think JPJ is falling
great player, talented player.
I really do.
We had a good year with them,
Toxic Black, what up?
But
Centers always fall in the draft. JPJ did 33. What are you doing? I think
Dan and
so
Dave
tough,
to make those
man,
decisions
Randall.
that are going to be in the best.
That's such a tough call, but I guess I'm taking it.
That's the nature of the beast. The
because
team is never going to be the same from one year
and then
to
I'm
the
taking
next.
Leggett
So
at 39.
we are now,
or I don't take Leggett at 39, and I take Sanders at 39, and then I take like.
Obviously, we all know his track record.
Like there's two draft scenarios we can go with it. We'll do a mock draft.
Just plays hard.
We'll do a mock draft.
What's
up, Panther Raider X?
The way we want to play.
Most mock drafts have Dallas taking offensive tackle, but I'm with you. They go at JPJ.
He's been.
There was a press conference yesterday. Yeah, it was this
going
one.
through the offseason program.
Jen, what's up? No worries. No worries. But I kind of wanted to give a shout out to Evero, honestly. I just wanted to give a shout out. I wanted to give a shout out to the guy. Let's continue here. One guy I also think we should have tried to add a coaching staff is Luke Kuechly. Maybe one of these days, man. Maybe Luke doesn't want to coach. I mean, again, maybe Luke does. Maybe Luke doesn't. Maybe he's happy with just doing commentating. I don't know. Yeah, AJ Brooks. When he did say that, I was like, damn, if he feels that way, he must know something I don't know. This is true, Park. That makes money talks, my friend. Money talks. So good Friday discussions, man. Those are great questions. I'm glad. I hope I answer all of them. If you do have any more questions as we go through through. We're gonna go through. Yeah, we'll do a mock today. Yo. With the way the most teams are trending and going offensive minded, how long do you think we could keep EJ? Wait, Mike, are you saying you're talking about Evero? How long we could keep him? I mean, Mike, I don't know. I don't think it, even though that they're going offensive minded. I mean, here's the thing. If they do this rebuild right and he still sees the vision and he can see this team winning the Super Bowl, I mean, you can keep that guy for the next 2 to 4 years. But if this team doesn't start winning, because I don't think they're going to win this year. I don't think this team is a contender. I don't think this team's a win now team. I think that's a 6-win team at best. I think Evero's going to do his job, and he's going to do a great job, which he's always done, as a defensive coordinator. And I think that if we improve from this year, and then next year they just see this vision and this organization, this team, and we see the vision that they're seeing, and they can win 10 games the next year, I think Evero sticks around for another 2 years. I think he gives it another 2 years now. And then if they start winning, I think they give him again another 2 years. But I do think that he could still get his job, though, Mike. I wouldn't be surprised if someone comes knocking on the door. If he makes this team top, if he can finish this defense again at top 4, top 5 in the league again, somehow he's able to do it. Someone's going to be calling him and saying, I got a nice contract for you. So money talks, though, Mike. Money does talk. Mm-hmm. And that's true too, Zach or AJ. I mean, it could go both ways, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone tries to throw a big bag at him. He goes somewhere else. I just wouldn't be surprised. Guys, make sure you pound that like button wherever you're watching. If you're watching over on Twitter, make sure you come on over to the YouTube channel. Make sure you pound the like button. It is Friday. Wonder if I can pull up 2 mock draft simulators. And as well, if you want to get any questions answered, feel free to come on over to the Discord. Put your questions in the fan discussion thing. And if you ever want any of that, I can make another channel in there. Mike comes in and goes off topic. Who you got in the Masters? Listen, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I put $100 down on Tiger Woods to win it because it was like it was like a major odds. So I'm like, if he wins it, okay, I win 14 grand. But who I really did bet on, Mike, I took Max. I put 50 on Max to win. I also took an extra chance and I put another 50 on Max Homa. Those are Max Homa is one of my favorite golfers right now. See, Randall, everybody's going Scheffler. I just don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it this year. Now, I don't think he'll win some majors again this year. I think he'll win at least one, but I just don't see him winning the Masters. I'd like to see Rory win it so he can finally finish the Grand Slam thing. Yeah, Zach, I make 14 grand if Tiger wins. I told you it was Tom Brady or DeChambeau. Got to listen. I mean, Bryson's killing it, man. And the course fits Bryson well. I'll be honest with you, because with the big drives, he can get it down to those holes. He can get it down to the greens or close to the greens or almost on the green, and all he has to do is chip up on some of those par 4s. And that's what he did in his first round. So, I mean, he can maneuver, and he's got a great wedge game. So it just fits. I can see it. Who's up right now? Oh, that's Shoffley. Xander Shoffley. Seems like to me Canales is on the offense. Basically, Marcos. Basically, I think Canales is just let Evero do his thing. I think that's another reason why probably Evero likes it here too. Is like he knows Canales is just going to be like, all right, man, you handle the defense, you got it. Like I know how good you are. That's how I would be. As I was if I was Dave Canales or if I'm a head coach and I have Evero as the defensive coordinator, I'm gonna be like, dude, you're basically a head coach, but of the defense. Literally, you just handle it. Zach, thank you. So Troy Franklin visited with the Panthers. I think we all knew that though already. I'm not sure. But Zach is my man. He always updates me with some stuff. I also get updated all the time. My phone blows up with the Panthers because I've got it set that way. All right, let's do a mock. Y'all ready for a mock? Now we could do a couple, maybe two mock drafts today. Let's see what this thing's thinking today. Let's see what this thing is thinking today. I definitely will, Randall. I definitely will. All right. Wait, what? Oh, shit. My bad. Okay. I didn't know I did that. I thought I already had it set. My bad. My bad. My bad. All right, my bad, guys. All right. Oh, we got 3 trade offers. Interested. Okay, we got Atlanta, Rams, and Chicago for the 75 pick. Yeah, you would have to give me like this, that. Yeah, you would have to give me at least that. You would have to give me that. Like Chicago, due to the board. Yeah, because I'm telling you. Okay, Jackson Powers Johnson to the Bills is a little reach there. Surprise. Adonia Mitchell to which wouldn't be surprising either because they do need some help besides because they lost Gallup. I mean, they got Cooks and Lamb. So, and then JPJ. I don't know if JPJ would be good of the Bills, though. I just don't see that. Now, I can see Chop going to the Lions. That makes sense. Darius Robinson, okay. Morgan, okay, makes sense. Yeah, if I'm trading with you, Chicago, you would have to give me that. LA, you're gonna have to give me this, that, and this. You'd have to give me these three. I see him trading back, sure, due to the board. Yeah, I'm trading back here, I think. Yeah, I mean, Frazier's here. All right. Yeah, I mean, if I'm trading with any one of these three teams, I mean, I'm not trading with Atlanta, so they can go fuck themselves. No offense. If there's any Atlanta fans. They ain't doing that. I'll offer it to them, but I guarantee you they ain't doing that shit. Yeah, they ain't doing that. I could go 52. I'd probably go 52, 83. And give me a. Does that seem realistic? Or maybe the 155 seems realistic? Or do we just stick with the two? Do we got 52, 83, 155, or 154? They're not going to give me all three of these. There's just no way. There's no way I would fleece the shit out of them if that happened. But I don't see that. I'm trying to make it realistic. Now, I could see these two. I could see these three or this or that. But for one pick, 3 for 1 just doesn't make sense. 2 for 1 does, but 3 for 1 doesn't. I mean, maybe that 52 and 99. Hmm. The 155. The Falcons. I ain't doing the Falcons though. The Falcons can kick fucking rocks. This is true. I can see that. All right, let's offer them this. I think this is realistic. I think this is good. 52, 83, 55. Or we go here. That's true. Next year's fourth. What do y'all think? Next year's fourth or go 55, 155? I just don't know if they're going to do 2 picks in this year or not. I think that's more realistic. A future fourth. I think that's good, Marcos. I like that. I think that's more realistic. I just don't see a team giving you 3 draft picks in one draft for 1 pick. Now, I can see them giving you 3 draft picks total. Yeah, they're not going to give me a next year's 2 unless I did this. I'm going to do next year's 4th. I'm going to do next year's 4th. I think that's more realistic. I'm trying to make it realistic, Randall. I don't think anybody's going to give us their next year's 2nd or 1st. We do have a 1st round pick next year. We just don't have a 2nd round pick. All right. I'm going to go with that. I think that's fair. 52, 83. I think that's fair. Let's see what they go. They went Bo Nix. Wow. Bo Nix to LA. Okay, that's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Well, you know where I'm going. Y'all know where I'm going. I'm going Xavier Legette, of course. Where else am I going to go? Now, trading back does make it intriguing. Cleveland at 54. I don't want to know what I could grind out of them. I mean, dude, that would be insane. I traded back. Mocha. I traded back. I think I'm going to go this route. I think I'm going to do it. Where's it at? Take wide receiver. We'll go Leggett. I don't know how I feel about Leggett. I've broken him down before. Xavier Leggett. Oh, don't shake him. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Money team. Boom. But now that I got that 83, pick, though, I'm not going Van Pran here. Guys, so I don't need to go Van Pran here. I can wait to probably get Van Pran at 83. So we went Leggett, Jadavion Sanders, first 2 picks. I don't need to get Van Pran here. I can get whatever else I want. I think I'm going to go corner. I could get Van Pran at 83. I think I'm going to take a corner here because we need one. All right, so we need wide receiver. Okay, we did that. Tight end, we did that. Center, corner, D-line, linebacker. Tight end, yep. Edge. Y'all saying going, are y'all saying, Keenly or Jackson? So Kyrie, Jackson, or Keenly? Ooh. So, okay, wide receiver, tight end, corner, center, corner, linebacker, okay. Edge, linebacker. D-line. Tight end, yeah. Linebacker, yeah. Running back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Oh, man. So do we go edge here? Do we go ahead and get our pass rusher? All right. Oh, man. But then I want Edgerrin Cooper. That's what I want. I want Edgerrin Cooper. I'm going with my boy. I'm going with my outside guy. I'm sorry. I had to do it. You had to do it. Don't take Cedric Van Pran. Don't take Cedric Van Pran. Thank Christ. This might be the best one yet. Oh, yeah. I still need to get a well, Cooper could play inside. Cooper can play inside or outside. Seriously, I mean, he's that versatile. So it just depends where you want to put him. Damn, Brendan Rice is here. No way. That's insane. That's pretty fucking insane. It makes me want to trade back because I still need a corner. But like part of me is like, damn, freaking Brandon Rice is right here. Braylon Allen's probably still available. Yeah, at 134. Part of me wants to trade back though. Take this. And go to like 119. and give me some future picks. I don't know if it's draft of dreams. I mean, I'm dreaming maybe draft going back again. I mean, I think that like I can get like if we trade back, I think the trade I made with the Rams is very realistic. I don't think that that was like overdone. I only took their first and their second and their third and a future fourth. Like I don't think that's a crazy pipe dream kind of trade. Fuck. I mean, as much as I want Braylon Allen, I'm not going to take him at a 101 pick. That's the thing. Like, I'm not taking him at 101. I'm just not. What about corner? I mean, I could get my sleeper later on. I could get Dwight McLaughlin later. I mean, part of me wants to trade back again, though. Like, I mean, this is an ideal draft so far, but part of me wants to trade back. If you give me I mean, I kind of want to go like that. Go with Kansas City and offer them that. Fuck it. It's my mock draft. I don't care. They took a safety. That's what they did. They went and got a safety. Yeah, but I got 2 extra picks out of it now. I can get some extra pieces. Come on. I might be able to hit on Braylon Allen right here. Ooh, did I just hit on Braylon Allen? And whoa. Dude, okay, now this is a big question. Are we going Braylon Allen or are we going Muhammad Kamara? Oh my God. This is a tough one. Jeez, Lou, this is a tough one. Do I take Braylon Allen or do I take Muhammad Kamara at 131? Godly. Now I haven't picked Mocha. I haven't. Allen will be there at 141. I don't think he will, man. I haven't seen Braylon Allen in these mock drafts fall to 141. I think if anybody's taking Braylon Allen, it could be. I could see the Bills taking him. I could see the Rams or the Bucks. I can see the Broncos. I'll take a chance, and I'm going to take Muhammad. But I think, or the Patriots could take him. I mean, or Braylon Allen's is going off the board here. I don't care what anybody says. Somewhere here. Holy shit. There ain't no fucking way. Taking Braylon Allen. Oh, my. Cedric Gray. Because I need another linebacker. But then, wait a minute. Do I take Cedric Gray? Oh, my. Do I take Cedric Gray or do I take Mason Smith? Do we take Cedric Gray or do we take Mason Smith? That's the question. Do we take Cedric Gray or do we take Mason Smith? This is a massive mock draft. This might be one of the best mock drafts I've ever done in my life. Oh my God. Again, I did get a linebacker in Edgerrin Cooper who can play inside or outside. You got an edge rusher guy who can play edge or outside linebacker, Muhammad Kamara. So it kind of gives you that versatility between the two. I think I'm going to take Mason Smith on this, guys. Taking Mason Smith. I think that's the right move. Then I can get my corner at the 159 pick. My sleeper pick. Here comes my sleeper pick of corners. I talked about him earlier. Dwight McGlothern. Telling you guys, y'all are sleeping on Dwight McGlothern. Because I already have Edgerrin Cooper, Mike, and I have Muhammad Kamara. Muhammad Kamara is an outside 3-4 linebacker. Cooper can play inside or outside. He's good in and Cooper's good in pass coverage. Cooper can do it all. So, too early for McGlothern? Nah. Because after him, Randall, I don't have anybody else. He's going off the board. He's going off the board at 240. Before 240. And I need a corner. I'm telling y'all, though, y'all are sleeping on McGlothern if you don't know. Just telling you right now. I mean, the guy, no, I'm not trading back. That's not realistic. I can see two trade backs, but not three. You're trading back too much. I just don't see it. But like I said, McGlothern, if you don't know, yeah, he's a tall, skinny corner who needs to add some strength for the NFL. I will say that. But he's great in man or zone coverage. Okay. He showed ball skills with the Razorbacks. Again, he recorded 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions, as you can see. He also had 6 passes broken up. He notched 4 interceptions, 10 pass breakups, 52 tackles during the previous season, given his height, length. To me, I think his ball skills is an interesting development prospect. That's what makes him interesting to me. But he's great in man and zone coverage, and he's a decent run defender. So, I mean, he's not great, but he ain't bad. I mean, and then I literally have everything. I literally have everything. Who is this? Pulling up beside my house. I don't know who the fuck this is. If he stopped by my house to ask me to cut my grass or something, I'm going to tell him to go fuck himself. I don't know who the fuck. Or is he about to cut my grass? I don't know who the hell this is. Huh. He's just blowing the cul-de-sac. Oh, I can just turbo it. Watch this. Beep. Let him call it as wrong. I don't even know who this guy is pulling up to my house about to cut my grass. I'm like, I ain't never heard of this guy. Where's Hayden Hatton, a sleeper. My other sleeper. I didn't talk about Hayden Hatton too much. Jesus Christ. Hayden Hatton is a sleeper at the wide receiver position. Just so y'all know. Back-to-back over 1,200-yard season, double-digit touchdowns. Last year and this year. At a University of Idaho. White boy. Absolute stud. He's definitely a sleeper. People are sleeping on the kid. Just because he probably played at Idaho. I mean, Xavier Legette. All right, so we traded the second round. We traded our 33rd pick to the Rams who are interested. We got their second round pick, their 83rd pick, and their future fourth. All right. Got Xavier Legette, big outside wide receiver. Jadavion Sanders, tier 1 tight end. Edgerrin Cooper, an outside inside guy, great in pass coverage, but also can be an outside guy. I mean, he's literally Frankie Luvu 2.0. I think this guy is definitely going to be he can play outside and he can play inside. Okay. Cedric Van Pran fits the zone scheme at 83. Muhammad Kamara at 131, but we traded the 101 to the Kansas City Chiefs who were interested. They gave us both their 4th and 5th pick. I was okay with that. So I went and got Muhammad Kamara. We got the big workhorse running back in Braylon Allen. We added a true nose tackle, Mason Smith from LSU. We get a great depth piece and I think a great potential sleeper pick here in Dwight McLaughlin. And we got a guy named Hayden Hatton out of Idaho who is absolutely incredible, honestly. So if you don't know who Hayden Hatton is, I'm about to tell you. About to tell you who Hayden Hatton is. All right. I'm trying to pull him up. Hold on. Oh, dude, they got a bunch of where are you? That's crazy. Let me pull up. Not letting me pull up his profile. What the fuck? Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to pull up his profile. For some reason, it's probably my internet, of course, as always. I can't pull any screen up of him. I can't pull up any visuals of him, but I can pull up this. Give me a second. If it'll let me fucking do it. Oh my gosh. My dogs are nuts. I'm trying to pull it up. It's taking me forever. I don't fucking know what's going on. All right, here we go. Here we go. My bad. Sorry. Wasn't trying to take too long. It was taking too long. Here is Hayden Hatton. I'm gonna show you real quick. Okay, so here's Hayden Hatton. All right, if you don't know, now you know. 6'1", 209, out of Ohio. He's your go-to outside X receiver. Don't be surprised don't be surprised if he goes undrafted. He's got experience, 45 games under his belt, over 2,300 snaps to show for it. He was a respectable 3-star recruit. But he's stands at 6'1", 209. Hands he doesn't have bad measurement at hands. He's like 9 2/8. His arm span's about 74 6/8. 40's a 4.6. Vertical leap, so he can jump 39 inches. Broad jump covers about 12 something. It was like 12 something. I think he had a pretty decent broad jump. Or no, 112. No, 122. 122. So it's so he can cover some ground. He's got agility, 7.17 in the 3-cone, bench press 14, so some strength. I would say his best ability, from my understanding, is that he's known to how to make plays, especially when the ball is in his hands. Let's see what else they say here. Basically, they're saying that he can track those tricky throws. He's clutch for catching in tight spots. He's got the moves and visions, almost like a return specialist. Route running, quick on his feet. Can threaten with his speed. He's fearless in mixing it up. Can handle press coverage. Now, again, nobody's perfect, so there are always a few areas that he can improve in. Says here, run blocking's one of them, so it's not really his strong suit. So he might struggle in specific offensive schemes. Basically, they're saying here, run after the catch, could be more aggressive in gaining yards after the catch. Let's see. And then it says his size. He's not the biggest guy. That's basically where they're saying, which might limit him ability to bulk up. Obviously he's a dynamic receiver, though. I mean, you go look at his PFF stats. Let's go look at Hayden Hatton's PFF gradings and stats. Let's see what PFF's got on him. Oh, here, let's just go to the big board. There we go. Halfbacks. Let's see what they say. Let's go. Oh, there he is. So, all right. So, yeah, grading. Here he is. He's got a lot of potential. I mean, definitely for a guy like this, he's got some areas to work on. But obviously, if you're looking at his stats and everything, he's definitely got the knack for making big plays. He's got solid hands. Obviously, I think he'd be an asset for a team looking for a reliable playmaking wideout. I think it's a guy you could. I mean, again, 13 games. Randall Griffin says drafting this guy in 3rd round, the Patriots wouldn't be fucking surprised. I mean, the Patriots do that shit all the time, right? They do that shit all the time. So, Well, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. That was fun. Fan discussions. We'll definitely do that. We might start doing that every Friday. So, guys, if you want to get into the fan discussions, join the Discord, okay? Join the Discord. Make sure you get in there. Hit that up. It seems like we're always it seems like we're always updating something. It seems like we're always updating something in there. And somebody's updating something in there. So make sure you go ahead, join the Discord. So we can do this every Friday where you get your fan. It's basically what everybody else does. Friday fan mail. I'm calling it Friday fan discussions, questions, topics, stuff like that. That's what I'm calling. So make sure you get it in, okay? Marcos Cash has got the link. All right. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound the like button. A lot of good discussions today. A lot of good talks. A lot of good draft talk. A lot of good draft breakdown, I thought. Y'all had some great questions, so make sure you keep them coming. And if you do have more questions, just put them in the if you're in there, I'm going to make another channel where it's just I'm going to make it for just you guys to ask me questions in there, and I can answer them on any live stream. And I'll start doing that. I may put like live stream discussions or topics in the thing. So, all right. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Everyone have a blessed weekend. Have a blessed Friday. Y'all guys, y'all know what to do. As always, make sure you keep pounding. Peace.